Hi Pisces, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your May mid-month tarot check. This is for all Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I want to thank everyone who's been watching the readings. I love doing them for you and I'm having fun with this, so thanks for continuing to watch my channel. And if you've subscribed, commented, liked, and shared my videos, I really appreciate that too. If you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber and tap that bell if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, and that's about once a week. So I'll do a weekly tarot reading coming up here in a couple of days for next week. I also posted a seasonal reading for the months of May, June, July, and August, so that's posted as seasonal tarot check if you want to see what's coming up this summer. But for now, this is for the next week, or excuse me, couple of weeks here ahead through Memorial Day. However, time is fluid, so it's possible some of this energy may have already started and could be creeping into June. We'll just have to see what the cards say in terms of a timeline. If it doesn't resonate with you, check out another part of your chart, because sometimes your rising sign can be much more of your material plane, the things that you're manifesting. Then this is more your sun. If this is your sun sign, it has more to do with your soul's journey, okay? So you also have your Venus and your moon that you could look at. If you don't know what your chart has, you could get onto Cafe Astrology. Used to be a site that would do it for free. I had a professional astrologer do my chart, and then I checked Cafe Astrology, and it came out the same. So know that that's available. And this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is for Pisces, May, mid-month check. Your current position, you've got the Queen of Wands here with the Page of Wands, okay, as an immediate influence. Your destiny here, you've got the King of Pentacles. That's nice to see. The more distant past, the Queen of Pentacles, interesting because they're together, right? There's a couple here. Wow, and then the more recent past, the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Six of Swords coming towards you. You're represented here by the Devil, and the environment around you, you've got the King of Swords here. Your hopes and fears are the Knight of Pentacles, and then in the outcome, you've got some indecision coming through, but you also have, you've got the Two of Swords, you've also got the Page of Swords, and then at the bottom of the deck, if the next one's next card is a Major Arcana, I do tend to pull it just because there's power there that I don't want to leave on the table. Wow, interesting, very interesting reading. So I definitely think you could be dealing with a fire sign, okay? Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries here. You also have quite a bit of earth here. You've got Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Certainly could be an Aries, but you also have, you do have air too. It's an interesting balance. You have no cups in this, but it's like there's a lot of communication, a lot of talking coming through, and then I think some stagnancy too. It's, you know, let's get started here. You've got this, you know, your current position with the immediate influence. You've got the Queen and the Page of Wands here. So I definitely think there's been an attraction and a passion here. There certainly some of you could have been taking on some kind of new endeavor in terms of work or some kind of even new hobby. The new hobby is very possible with this quarantine actually, because it's all about creativity, but it's about taking action and moving forward. You know, the wands are like making, you know, heaven come to earth. They're about physical manifestation and taking action. So like I said, I think there was passion in some kind of a relationship. There was definitely passion. There was stability here, or there is, if it's a current relationship or somebody that you're meeting. In it, but there's an obsessive tendency with this. There's an obsessive tendency. There's a little bit of codependence coming through and some overthinking. So those are kind of the negative aspects of it, but I definitely feel like there's passion. There is a real mutual attraction here. There's a very strong physical attraction, and it's like this sexual chemistry. I mean, I think John Mayer said sexual napalm. It's like that, where it's like in a very explosive energy between the two of you. And again, this could be somebody new, or it could be somebody in the past that's been kind of an on-again, off-again thing that I'm getting. So your destiny here is awesome. You've got the King of Pentacles here. And, you've got, you're, the universe wants you to have an abundant life. It's all about working hard, but reaching a position where you've got prosperity. The King of Pentacles isn't necessarily the heir to wealth as much as he's the leader, okay? As much as he's the one with the wealth that leaves it to everyone else. So I do feel like you have been building a career. You have been just very much like making sure things have been getting done right. And it's definitely going to be noticed. I also feel like you've got some pride here. You're proud of the things that you've done and accomplished. And on, on just taking some independence, being more independent, being more able to, do fun things, travel, pay for, dinners out, be able to save money, things like that. I definitely think some of you may have been kind of crazy when you were younger with money. And I'm just seeing somebody who's just like at the bar and throwing money everywhere. And that time has passed. It's like there's a real maturity here. But wealth is in your destiny. Now, interestingly enough, this is where I think in the more distant past, you may have had a relationship that seemed like it was a perfect fit. And there was abundance in the relationship, not only with love, but with money too. However, I do wonder if this person was a bit of a perfectionist for you and it felt like pressure, like you were not really quite ready for that type of relationship. And there was a part of you that felt like you were not quite their match. Or it could be vice versa, but there's definitely a perfectionistic energy in this where it seemed almost like some of the things that they enjoyed almost felt like drudgery to you. Like it just wasn't fun. It was like you were not, again, there was a maturity difference. And it was like you were still wanting to go out, or it could be the other person. And this person wants to make a home. They want to build their castle. They want to have, they love animals, nature. They want beautiful things around them. And there's a really financial savviness about this and this whole area. So in the more recent past, you got this Ace of Pentacles. Some of you may have come into a large sum of money, or you've had something new come in somewhat recently that's really going to help you make a lot of money. It could even be something like a computer software program I'm getting. It's something like that where you've got some new bridge that is going to bring you over to the next part of your financial success. And I love seeing the King of Pentacles, right across from the Ace of Pentacles here, because these are financial power players. You definitely have wealth and abundance coming towards you this summer. And again, I've been getting this for you for a while at work, where some of you, I think, are in management or something like that, where you may have to cut some people out, but you will be fine. You will kind of stay the course. And I know that sounds harsh. I don't know how many of you saw that Uber video, or if any of you are Uber drivers, where they laid off like thousands of people through a Zoom video, and the woman was crying, but my God, it just was not a good situation. However, she could be a Pisces. I mean, really, this could be her reading, because she's going to be fine. It's just there's a difficult job here for some of you, and you're going to continue to move forward here. So you've got this Six of Swords, and this is definitely about moving away emotionally on some level. And again, I think this is more work related, where you're having to make a head over heart decision on some things, and it's difficult and it doesn't feel very good. And some of you are going to take some guilt with you. This is a trip that they're taking baggage with them. And I do feel like that could stay with you for a while. And you may even want to, at some point, it would be good to sit down and maybe talk with somebody, if you have a mentor or somebody who's older that has had to go through certain similar things in terms of work, that could just give you some guidance. Because I think, if it's got a name, it's been done before, and there are people who have dealt with this kind of stuff and will be very understanding. There's definitely this card, there's some variability with the energy because well, let me show it to you again. One side, there's all these waves. The other side is completely like calm, like it's just glass. And so what this tells you is you've got an emotional, and that's Pisces anyway, right? You tend to be very emotional. You've got almost emotional ability with some of this where it's just kind of all over the place and feeling uncomfortable. You're definitely in your head. This is Capricorn energy. But with the devil, there's an obsessive thought loop about some of this. And I think it's also too about this relationship, seeing the good in it. But I think that there's been some finality and not being sure, just being unsure about it. You know, there's like, should I call them? Shouldn't I call them? And like, I almost see somebody, and I know this is gross, but they're like picking their scalp while they're talking. I mean, they're talking to themselves and they're not sure what to do. And it's just like this, you know, like I said, guilt I feel is coming through, and that I do believe is in regards to work. And that's part of this card. You know, the real guidance here, though, is just to make sure that you're being honest with yourself. Pisces, sit your butt down and write down, what do you really want out of life? What is it that you're looking for? Be very clear about your intentions, because Pisces is a psychic sign. You know, you are hanging on, I think, to some self-defeating behaviors, and just be aware of that. You may also have been the target of some libel or slander where somebody's, you know, texting about you and saying things like, you know, somebody that didn't keep their job is saying some pretty nasty things, and it's weighing on you because you do are tender-hearted and you don't want to hurt anybody, but you had to cut some things free. And again, this communication piece, this is coming through as a couple different things. One, I think it's people that are pissed at work, and they're going to have to just deal with it on their own time. And the best thing you can do is to lean away from it. You know, be protective of yourself and guarded of yourself, because and especially if you have people that are coming and telling you things that have been said, it may be best to set a boundary there, because you don't really need to hear it. And it's hurtful. Some of it is very hurtful. Now, I also think, like I said, you've got this relationship that was very passionate. I think there was really a foundation there, but it felt like somebody in it was too controlling. They were too almost prescriptive in the way they wanted things, and it got to be suffocating. I think there's communication coming from this person, but they're very matter of fact now, whereas they may have been before kind of fiery and emotional. I think you're going to find them almost monotone and kind of just very to the nuts and bolts of things. Your hopes and also there's fear here, but I think it's more of a hopeful kind of a card. I think the fear is the stagnation and the being caught up in this, you know, indecision. But I also think you're hopeful there's going to be an offer coming in. You definitely, like I said, have security and long-term security monetarily, and that is comforting. But you've got another part of your life here that just hasn't quite developed how you thought it was going to. You've got this Knight of Pentacles coming in with an offer, and it's, you know, it's slow. It's, you know, somebody who wants to come in slow and make it last. You know, this could be even though this is Earth, I mentioned in the beginning, you could be dealing with a fire sign. That certainly could be a Sagittarius too, because they tend to start off slow and let it burn long. You know, the fires are the embers. Their Aries is like the big hay that explodes and burns really fast, whereas Sagittarius are like the embers that just burn through the night. They burn long. So definitely a commitment. I do think you could, like I said, with career, there's promotions coming. It's slow though, very slow to develop, but there's good stuff coming with career too. Now, your overall outcome here, you've got this Two of Swords. You are very indecisive in general. That tends to be, and part of it is your compassion and love for other people. You don't want to hurt anybody, so you don't like to make a decision that might hurt somebody. So you kind of kick it around in your head, but you've got a blindfold on here. You're not seeing some things clearly, and so meditate, quiet your mind, and the clarity will come in. If you pray, ask your angels for specific direction and guidance on, because you have to ask. It doesn't just come. You do have to ask. Now, your clarifiers here, you've got this Emperor with the Page of Swords. And like I said, I think it has to do with this King of Swords. The Page of Swords can certainly be somebody who's been kind of lurking in the backdrop, spying on you, checking on your online accounts, even checking out, your family and friends, Instagram or Facebook kinds of things. They're interested. They're interested, but they don't want to come across that way. They don't. I think if it's somebody that was very passionate in the past, their pride was hurt. Their pride was very much hurt when you pivoted away from them or turned away from them. And I think that you're going to have to extend an olive branch here if that's what you want to do. But I also think for some of you, you're going to have to continue to communicate at work and be very strong, be a leader. And the Emperor comes in to give you that power, to push you along, give you momentum and authority. Know that you are in the right job, you're in the right place. So for those of you that would like to attract more love into your life, your message is forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So yeah, for those of you that have an ex, that's the key to it. Start to, for 30 days, write down their positive aspects, and every day get that out. Look at the list, and anytime you feel negative emotion, read those positive aspects, and you'll attract the person back, but you'll attract the things you like about them. I am a vibrational being in a vibrational environment. And we're going to close things off here with Abraham Hicks, Ask and It Is Given. You are, even in your physical expression of flesh, blood, and bone, a vibrational being, and everything you experience in your physical environment is vibrational. And it is only through your ability to translate vibration that you are able to understand your physical world at all. So very true there. And you ask and it is given. You can have, do, or be anything. You just have to ask and line up to it. So I love you so much, Pisces, and I will be back again next week for a weekly tarot check.